I'll wait to see your golden smile, feel of 1,000 kisses. Oh, please stay a while.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. In our last episode, we left Tivat, Montenegro in the Bay of Kotor and arrived in Kaftat, Croatia. Arriving to Croatia. So we're gonna go and try and squeeze in where all those yachts are and go and check in. We were able to check into the country with our passports at the port police, but the customs office had already closed for the day. Checking into a new country like Croatia, you're supposed to finish everything right away. But the port police officer agreed we could continue on to Dubrovnik so we wouldn't get stuck in bad winds. Honestly, if all bureaucracy came with this kind of customer service, I might actually look forward to the paperwork. Now, in Croatia, like in Montenegro, you pay a cruising tax and a tourist tax in exchange for what's called a vignette. In Montenegro, our 90-day pass cost about 272 euros for the cruising tax, plus about 40 euros for the tourist tax. In Croatia, we paid 83 euros for 30 days of tourist tax and another 100 euros for the vignette to sail their waters for a month. If we end up wanting to stay longer, we can just extend the time online. The math depends on your boat's size, type, and the number of people on board. Basically, it's like an Airbnb fee for the ocean. We have made it to Dubrovnik. The only problem is that we're having a big windstorm tonight and there are no places to anchor. Finding a place to anchor near Dubrovnik was tricky. Your options are either pay a small fortune to local marinas or, well, not much else. So we dropped anchor in the beautiful Zaton Bay just outside of Dubrovnik. Tomorrow morning we'll head into town by taxi, finish our customs check-in, and then explore the city. We are north of Dubrovnik. We're in 14 meters right now and we're in what is now a very calm anchorage, thank God. But we're supposed to get some winds tonight. It's a long day. Very early wake up. Priscilla is over there. And Donovan is washing the boat, shocker.
Hey, Claudine. Where's the other fella? The young fella? Oh, I can't even focus. Oh yeah, there's Claudine. Here we go. We're in Dubrovnik.
Check-in is complete. We are officially legal in Croatia. Time to explore, starting with Dubrovnik's Old Town. You may or may not recognize it from a little show called Game of Thrones. I hadn't actually watched the show at this point in our journey, but I figured now is probably a good time to see why half the world's decided to travel here. We entered Old Town on the west side, right by Onofrio's large fountain. Built in the 1400s, it was basically Dubrovnik's first plumbing system, bringing fresh water into town through aqueducts, and people still drink from it today. On our boat, we have a water maker that desalinates seawater and makes it drinkable. So if locals brag about their 600-year-old water system, we'll just say, cool, but does it all fit in a boat-sized locker? The old town layout is fascinating. Mostly straight streets running north-south or east-west. Very few curves, so it feels like you're walking on graph paper. That was on purpose. The city was rebuilt after a 1667 earthquake, and they designed it to be orderly, easy to navigate, and easy to defend. I think Dubrovnik was doing urban planning before urban planning was a thing. After a pretty heavy lunch, we climbed south, lots and lots of stairs, heading towards the water. When did I sign up for this? Dubrovnik doesn't just make you walk off your calories, it makes you repent for them. But the payoff is worth it. Oh. The views from the upper city walls are unreal. You can walk the entire circuit of the Old Town walls, about 2 kilometers around. On one side, you've got endless rows of orange rooftops stacked neatly like dominoes, and on the other side, the Adriatic stretches out like a giant infinity pool. It's like being stuck between a postcard and a screensaver. It's one of the best preserved fortification systems in Europe, with towers, bastions, and viewpoints that make you feel like you're both in a history book and on a movie set. And if you're afraid of heights, don't worry, you'll be so distracted dodging selfie sticks you won't notice how far down the rocks are.
The calm was not calm like this when we came by yesterday.
Fast forward about a year to today, and I've finally watched Game of Thrones, and I can now tell you this is the infamous Walk of Shame staircase. Queen Cersei was punished by the High Sparrow and his faithful followers because she committed, well, let's call it too many royal indiscretions? Her punishment was to walk through the streets completely naked while everyone yelled at her. Basically, the medieval version of social media. The architecture here is mostly late medieval and Renaissance. Think massive stone walls, arched windows, and orange terracotta roofs. After the 1667 earthquake, a lot of buildings were rebuilt in Baroque style. So it's this cool mashup of eras, like if a history book and a Pinterest board had a baby. Our next stop, Stara Luka, Dubrovnik's old port. Back in the day, this was a major hub of the Republic of Ragusa. Ships came and went with goods from all over the Mediterranean. Dubrovnik was basically Amazon Prime before Amazon. And no, this Ragusa isn't the one in Sicily. Same name, totally different story. Dubrovnik's Ragusa became rich by trading salt, silver, and other goods, and the old port was the heartbeat of all that action. Today it's full of small boats, tour departures, and cafes with great views. The vibe has shifted from international trade empire to Instagram empire. So yeah, the business model shifted a little. St. Blaise's Church, built in the early 1700s, is dedicated to the city's patron saint, Blaise, who supposedly warned Dubrovnik about a Venetian sneak attack in a dream. He's celebrated every February 3rd during the Festival of St. Blaise, which has been going strong for over 1,000 years. St. Blaise is known locally as Sveti Vlaho in Croatian. Right next to it, you've got the Sponza Palace. Built in the 1500s, it was originally the customs house. Now it holds the city archives and exhibitions. So in a way, it went from where the government takes your money to where the government keeps your receipts. My favorite part of the city, though, has to be the tiny alleys with steep staircases running north and south. They cut between the bigger east and west streets and feel like little secret passageways. Some lead to quiet cafes or hole-in-the-wall bars. Others just dead-end into somebody's laundry line. Either way, they're charming to explore, and as an added bonus, provide you with a free workout, mostly in the shade. The alleys stay shady and cool even in the brutal summer heat, so they're natural gathering spots. Walking through those quiet stair-step alleys felt like hitting a pause button on the chaos. It's these moments, simple everyday life, that made the old town feel real, not just like a postcard. Every so often we saw people sitting on the stairs, some smoking, some chatting, some clearly just on a break from the tourist madness. They could have been locals, could have been restaurant employees catching 5 minutes of peace, or tourists staying in the little Airbnb apartments inside the old town. Yep, you can actually rent a place inside these centuries-old stone walls. Imagine staying in a medieval building, except now it comes with Wi-Fi, an espresso machine, and probably a 10 a.m. checkout. Now, the whole Airbnb boom has been a mixed bag for locals. On one hand, it's brought in a ton of income. On the other hand, some residents say it feels like living inside a movie set with rolling suitcases clattering down the cobblestones at all hours. Only about 30% of Old Town's housing is still occupied by permanent residents. Before the war in the early 1990s, there were around 5,000 permanent residents inside the walls. Now it's dropped to around 1,200. The city has started banning new private rental permits in the Old Town to try to make it livable again for the people who actually call it home. We exited the old town the same way we went in and grabbed a taxi back to Zaton Bay. It was an incredible day packed with history and stories we didn't expect to learn just by walking around. You get the sense that every stone has seen centuries of life, from earthquakes to sieges to empires. And then right on top of all that history, you've got modern pop culture taking over. Thanks to Game of Thrones, Dubrovnik went from beautiful medieval city to fantasy theme park almost overnight. In fact, since the show came out, tourism here has reportedly doubled by about 100%. with around 1.5 million people visiting every year. Locals joke that there are now more souvenir shops selling "I survived the red wedding" mugs than bakeries. Everywhere we turned, there were shirts, magnets, even shot glasses, all branded with Games of Thrones. It's wild to think a TV show can change the economy of a 1,000-year-old city. Since we're officially checked in through the port police and now through customs, it's time to raise our new Croatian flag and take down our yellow courtesy flag. A little bit of wind, very nice day, but between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. every night, both nights we've been here, it has been incredibly windy. Katabatic winds just drop on you, which you don't expect because it's not marked on any of the weather apps. It said both nights it was going to be less than 10 knots, but we got these really, really strong winds. But we made it. We've survived so far. It's a beautiful, beautiful anchorage, and we ate at a restaurant right there, which was delicious. And a place to put the dinghy. We noticed a cool swimming hole when we first arrived to this area, complete with a rope swing and crystal clear water. So it's time for a little dinghy ride to check it out. I wonder if it's a private property or if we can use them.
I don't know, but there's a swing there.
Dubrovnik is that way with the bridge. And this is our bay. Our boat is at the very end over there. Oh, it's got a thing, a swing or tree thing, swing, whatever you call that. We are coming to a cave and we're gonna check and see if we're able to get in it. This is pretty.
Okay. Let's go look. Yeah, there's nothing in here.
I want to see.
Have you got an anchor?
Do we have an anchor? Is it on the boat?
How deep is it here?
Not super deep. I can see the ground. Oh, this is so pretty. Oh my gosh. This is so pretty. Oh, this is beautiful.
Zaton Bay has this great mix of calm anchoring, crazy middle of the night anchoring, and little adventure spots right at its mouth. Exploring caves is one of our favorite pastimes, and Zaton Bay delivered. The caves near the entrance are huge, echoey, and just a little spooky. Inside you'll sometimes find bats clinging to the ceiling or spiders lurking in the shadows. Nothing dangerous, at least that we know of, unless you're afraid of any creatures with wings or 8 legs.
Are these cliff divers? Well, that looks like a nice little swimming hole.
Personally, I just try not to think about what could possibly brush up against my body, and I just suck it up, all for you guys. How else can I get footage for these videos? You're welcome.
What do you reckon we go round to the rope?
Smile! God, I feel dizzy. I've been on the boat for so long. But then when I go on land, I actually feel dizzy. Here's Dubrovnik. Wow. Hello.
It's dinner time in Zaton Bay, and tonight our friend Pete went bold. Black risotto, or srni risotto. It's a traditional Croatian dish made with cuttlefish or squid, rice, garlic, olive oil, wine, and squid ink. Yes, your hearing is fine. The ink makes it jet black and also turns your tongue purple, which we all learned firsthand. Nothing bonds a group quite like comparing reflections and realizing you all look like you've been chewing on Sharpies.
This is night 4 of our stay here in the little bay next to Dubrovnik, and we're having our typical windstorm of the morning. It's about 5 o'clock. It's just becoming daylight. This one came with some lightning and thunder, which was a little bit worse than normal. But we've got plenty of swinging around. Anchor, thankfully, knock on wood, has been great. Got all our neighbors. This catamaran over here just got here. That big enormous boat has been moving and adjusting themselves with their bow thrusters, so they're obviously at the helm and ready to do whatever. I think the highest we've gotten is about 21 or so knots, 22 knots. Got a bit at the helm. It's not cold. I mean, it's a little bit chilly just because of the wind, but the clouds look creepy. So good. Our French couple friends that we've met since Tennessee last year are right across, and they're both sitting in their cockpit with their engine on. So everybody's doing great. Another typical morning in this bay. There's just no nights where you get no wind. It's just a nightly thing. It's also a good experience for us because we're just now entering Dubrovnik in Croatia, and the weather's supposed to be pretty different than what we're used to, and wind gusts and stuff, so this is all good practice. I'm gonna have to take a nap today, that's for sure. We moved everything. It's a mess in here. Everything is in the center over here so it wouldn't get wet. I unplugged our security camera. Yep, fun times in Oka. And this is what 30 knots looks like. Everybody's at the helm. The big white boat left. Welcome to Croatia, where you get 30-knot katabatic winds off the land. We're having a wonderful time with our French neighbors. My husband, thrilled as ever, loves sitting at the helm this early in the morning in 30 knots.
This morning, 35 knots of wind in the bay. Waves so high I felt like we could rent out surfboards and start a side business. These are called katabatic winds, basically cold air rushing downhill from the mountains above Dubrovnik and funneling right into the bays like Zaton. Warm air rises during the day, the mountains cool it off at night, and then gravity does the rest. Katabatic winds are a Dalmatian specialty. Sailors have been cursing them for centuries. Oh, and surprise, the weather apps never predict them. So while you're tucking in thinking, wow, calm night ahead of us, suddenly your boat is dancing like it's at a rave and the techno is loud and on point. Here's our Garmin chart plotter. You can see the boat, the anchor, and the green circle showing our swing radius. All these little gray dots are our tracks since we arrived. Oka has basically been breakdancing around the anchor line. The darker clumps show where the strongest gusts pushed us back and forth. Right now we've got 18 to 20 knots straight on the nose, free face exfoliation included. That's our friend Francois at the helm, engine on, trying to ease the strain on his anchor and chain. Nothing like a little 6 a.m. tug of war with Mother Nature.
Big old cruise ship coming in.
Still, Zaton Bay is fantastic. Calm most of the time, with restaurants, supermarkets, and even garbage drop-off points within walking distance. Plus, it's all well marked on Navily and the No Foreign Land app. And unlike the marinas closer to Dubrovnik, it won't cost you half your retirement savings.
Our neighbors have picked up their anchor.
And now the peaceful, beautiful calm after the storm. And with perfect timing, as today, it is my birthday.
Are you getting your Olympic medals?
Yeah, it's your birthday.
I've got the gold medal.
Oh no, Bird's got to stand on that. Come on, Claudine, you get in there.
We're off for provisioning before picking up anchor and heading to the next Croatian dream spot. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll know when my next Academy Award-winning video drops. Have you been to Croatia? Tell us about it in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.